Good evening or good morning, afternoon, good day, I guess, depending where you are. Over here in Korea Standard Time, it certainly is evening as we are set to go into the round of 32 in the GSL Season 2, sponsored by Sony Ericsson and Blizzard Entertainment. Hello and welcome. I'm Jason Lee, joined by Brian Frazioli as we are into the next stage of the tournament. So basically what we've done is we've paired out some of the pretenders and moved on to a higher level of gameplay. I think this is where the game really starts to get a little more exciting.
Yep, we've dropped the trash and we're getting the better players as we go. And we're seeing patch change take effect here. A few Terran players are dropping. We still got a bunch, but a lot of the Zerg players are licking their lips, hoping they find the Terran players in this round of 32.
Yeah, and I think this should be very interesting based on that in terms of the breakdown of races. Of course, in Season 1, there was so much talk of how Terran was just ridiculously powerful. However, this time around, there was this patch placed in to basically give them, what do you call it, a bit of a handicap, I guess. And that's somewhat balanced this out, especially becoming more prevalent going into this round of 32. We definitely see a lot more balance.
Definitely. I think strategies are changing every day. So it's at first, Terrans have to adapt. Oh, okay, I can't use Reapers anymore, so what am I going to do? And that's why it's going to get exciting as the match goes on, because the better players are going to find a way to win. And that's what's going to make it fun.
And I think the other side of that is perhaps when you're playing in tournaments like this, and there are so many Terran players in those early rounds, in the thousands of players type of area, you really get to play more Terran players. You get more practice against them, and so those who do move on after beating Terrans, well, you're going to be stronger for it regardless. And speaking of which, let's take a look at the race balance as we take a look right now. 13 Terrans in the round of 32 compared to 11 Protoss and 8 Zerg. So certainly the Zerg count is still low, but in terms of ratio in the round of 32, this is certainly an improvement compared to previous tournament as well as the round of 64.
Absolutely, and we're leaving Protoss out a bit here, but I think they're still a force to be reckoned with. Personally, my favorite race to play, I'm a random player in StarCraft 2. I like Protoss because they're just they still make sense to use. So much sense in the unit combination, so much fun in the mid-game. And I'm really hoping the Protoss players are going to kind of take the spotlight away from Terran and maybe get into that top 4, top 2, and see what happens.
All right, well, I'm still rooting for the Zergs. I'm going for the underdogs.
Oh,
and, yeah, actually, people, I guess they weren't aware of my ID. My ID is actually Zerger King, so I'm definitely a Zerg fan. I'm coming up with these original names as well. But anyways, regardless, Terran is the leader so far, and we certainly do have a couple of Terran matchups today, including a mirror matchup. The lone mirror matchup of today's match is going to be a TVT. As for some of the other matchups we have ZVP, also a PVZ, actually 2 PVZs, as well as a TVP coming up as well. Okay, we're going to take a look at the entire group of 32. So let's take a look at who has qualified for this next round and the matchups that we are facing for today. We do have Phoenix Wera, our Zerg player, against TSL BabyByeBye. That is our first match, ZVP. Our mirror matchup in Terran versus Terran is TSL Rain against OGS Ensnare. Match number 3 will feature Saint Ace against Kyrix Zenith. That is a Protoss versus Zerg. And in our fourth match, it is going to be Saint Hope Torture against Pippi Jung. That is a Terran versus Protoss. As for our matches in Monday, which is going to be our next round of 32 matches, San Zenith is going to be up against Czech Prime in a Protoss versus Zerg. Zerg match, Lee Nock versus next Sahoshin. And our next match after that is OGS Nada against Pak Jung Hyuk. That is another mirror matchup of Terrans. And EG Idra is going to be against OGS Kon in a Zerg versus Terran match. Day 3 of our round of 32 will feature I Am MVP against OGS Zenio. Nest T is against OGS MC in a Zerg versus Protoss. Zerg versus Terran. OGS The Wind against Maka Prime. And Terran versus Terran is Loner against Terrius Foe. And our final day of the round of 32 will feature Fruit Dealer versus Boxer in a ZVT. OGS Inca against Tank Boy Prime. That is a Protoss versus Terran. Next, Genius against Killja. Protoss versus Terran. And Slayer's Boxer against Korjung. That is a Terran versus Protoss. Those are our matches for the round of 32. And we showed you the 4 matches on that first page that are going to be featured today. And we are certainly looking forward to those matches as well. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the evolution of how we've come to this point. We started off with approximately 1,000 players. You've worked your way through, and basically the cream of the crop made it to the round of 64, which we were able to show the televised matches for. And since then, we are now into the round of 32. Now, let's talk about the players to make it here, because we have to remember that there were some pretty famous players that actually did not make it. Someone like Moon, one of the best micro players of all time in terms of Warcraft 3, does not make it out to here. So it's not just about playing RTS games before. We have kids that are 15, 16 years old that come out of nowhere. Nobody knows who these people are, not known for their StarCraft 1 abilities at all. Anybody, not anybody, but people that aren't famous could make it to this level as well.
Absolutely. A brand new game. Strategies are developing. Anything can happen, and that's what we're seeing. Age 15, age 16, age 17. These guys, they don't have RTS experience. Maybe they have the gift. We'll have to wait and find out. But when you make it this far in the tournament, it's already a small victory, I think, because if you remember StarCraft 1 on GameNet qualifiers, oh man, just to get up to that high level, at least to me, an unrealized dream. So I can imagine these players getting airtime now. Of course they want to win, but they got to be patting themselves on the back a little bit and happy about getting this far.
You know what impresses me as well is someone like Boxer or Nada, who is a pro player in StarCraft 1. I talked to Nada in an interview yesterday briefly about this, where you have a player that is committed to practicing in StarCraft 1 probably 8 to 10 hours a day, but somehow finds enough time to be good at a similar game, StarCraft 2. But regardless, let's take a look at some of the players that are going to be playing today. We're going to start off our first match featuring Zerg and Protoss. This is Phoenix Wera up against TSL BabyByeBye. And Phoenix Wera was a 2-0 winner over Apple in the round of 64. Whereas for BabyByeBye, he defeated Liquid TLO 2-1 in the round of 64.
Yeah, now that's actually a pretty big victory, especially in the foreign scene. Everyone knows and loves their favorite, the little one. And if you remember, BabyByeBye is actually an Eastro player that has transferred over not too long ago, in the past couple of months. His name is Song Ho, and I believe everyone should know and support this guy because he is not only quite nice and quite handsome, but also quite talented in StarCraft 2.
Shin Sang Ho, his name for BabyByeBye, it is Chun Young Shik, who is known as Phoenix Wera. From the Wera team, and you were telling me some information about the Wera clan.
Well, actually, I heard it today from Idra. I did not know this, not being a War 3 player. They have moved over from War 3, and according to Idra, they're not actually that good. They just do one base all in. Don't quote me on this. This is coming from Idra's mouth.
Hearsay there, but let's take a look at the maps that we're going to be using. Set number 1 will be on Scrap Station. Set 2 will be on Shakura's Plateau, and Set 3 will be on Metalopolis. As for the maps that these players did not want, Phoenix did not want Steps of War or Jungle Basin. BabyByeBye did not want Blistering Sand or Zelnaga Caverns. So those are the maps that we're going to be seeing for today. And we are just about ready for these two players. Any predictions as to who you like going into this match of 32 game?
Well, on Scrap Station, I'm going to have to personally, I like playing Zerg versus Protoss rather than Protoss versus Zerg. But what I want to see from Protoss is I want to see a strong early game push gateway. I think we're about to get started here, but I want to see aggression from the Protoss early. And I don't want to see any of this passive play like we saw yesterday. Hey, I'm not sure what to do. Let me just try something and, watch it fail.
Okay, well, we'll see if that is the case from our Protoss player, BabyByeBye. He is going to be up against Phoenix Wera. We are indeed set to go as we take a look at Phoenix Wera starting up at the 12 o'clock position.
Phoenix Wera.
Definitely some fans here to cheer him on. And his opponent at 2 o'clock is TSL BabyByeBye.
BabyByeBye.
Curious where he got that ID from, BabyByeBye.
For some reason, I'm hearing a song in my head.
I'm hearing some NSYNC as well. And we'll see if BabyByeBye is in sync in this game or not. Phoenix Wera, our Zerg player. And it is BabyByeBye the first to scout as he heads out.
Yeah, we're seeing that Protoss pylon placement again that we saw last night. Luckily, this time Zerg has not 6-pooled, so we might actually see what develops from this point.
So, it doesn't look like a spawning pool. I think we're going to be looking at a hatchery first. Or are we? No, no hatchery yet. Second probe comes out. Is he looking at a fast gateway? Or sorry, a fast nexus?
You know what? He absolutely is. There goes the Nexus right now.
At that. So,
I'm a little surprised at that hatchery placement though from the Zerg, and he's not going to be happy when he sees the Nexus of a Protoss player.
Yeah, this is very interesting, and I've got to wonder, did BabyByeBye decide to go Nexus first because of the placement of that hatchery? And it looks like Phoenix Wera has since switched over to a third hatchery.
Yeah, this is pretty standard. He sees the Nexus. He knows no Protoss aggression can come. Actually, he's looking. He hasn't even seen a gateway, any tech, so he's going to lay down that third hatchery, power up.
Nexus is about 3/4 complete for BabyByeBye. Spawning pool just being started on now by Phoenix Wera.
Yeah, there's he's seeing everything the Protoss has been doing, so there's really no point in laying down your spawning pool until you absolutely need to, or until you're ready to get your gas, power, and start maybe a layer upgrade.
Probe doing a good job of scouting still, getting all the information needed. Forge out for protection if necessary. And suddenly this is looking a lot like a StarCraft 1 PVZ. Looking a lot like a Bisu opening.
Yeah, it's actually quite similar to StarCraft 1. Both players are like, hey, you're not making an army? All right, me either. Let me just make some of these worker units and get a ridiculous economy.
Well, we're going to hit a bit of a lull. Both players are macroing up, so probably going to be a few minutes before we see any aggression from either side.
Oh, I like this. 2 Stargates somewhat hidden down here next to the Protoss Natural Expansion. Now, 2 Stargates, I'm pretty much guessing he's going to go for some Phoenix harassment and kind of turtle for a bit while he masses up an army. But we'll have to see what BabyByeBye thinks and does.
So once again, looking a lot more like StarCraft 1.
There you go.
And once again, I can't help but think about Bisu and his typical openings in a PvZ. And once again, I'm really curious about BabyByeBye's choice if he went with that Nexus after seeing that second hatchery kind of out of place. But maybe we'll have a question for him after this match. Remember, if you have questions that you like answered, go to the forum board in the website and post your questions for the winner of this game, and we'll try to get that question asked and answered for you.
Yeah, it looks like Zerg's playing pretty standard. He sees, okay, doesn't look like Protoss has very many units. Let me go ahead and take another base. He's getting speed Zergling, probably just in case he needs to pump a round or 2 of Zerglings. And what? Okay, finally he's getting a little bit cheeky there with the Overlord coming in to see what the Protoss is doing. But I really wish he would have done this earlier. It's a little way past time. Protoss could have done something tricky by now, like we see the 2 Stargates.
And I think he probably just would have seen the Stargates now, right? Did he have a look at the Stargates before?
He has not seen the Stargates yet, but he has come into the main with his Overlord here, and now all he sees are late 4 gateways. He's got to be thinking, okay, well, you know, Protoss could already have a bunch of gateways. What is he actually doing?
Now, from BabyByeBye's standpoint, how many Phoenixes do you want before you head out?
Well, these guys, you know, I would move out with about 6, and because once you have that number, you can keep rallying. You can do enough damage to put pressure on, but you can keep rallying to your current location. And yeah, we're seeing he's moving out with 5 here.
And here he goes, hunting for Overlords. He's going to do a little bit of scouting first. And here we go. Let's see how many Overlords he gets. There's the first one. Did not take much time at all. Probably all of about 5 seconds once he started engaging that Overlord.
Oh, he's wisely deciding to pick off the Queen, hurting Zerg's economy quite.
And picking up another Queen. Look at this. Great play here by BabyByeBye.
Yeah, Zerg caught absolutely off guard. You see he's throwing down spores, 2 or 3 at every base he has. Hoping these, what is that, 10 Zergling, late game 10 Zergling again from these players. They've got to find a new strat here.
And Overlords are going down pretty quick. Not a whole lot of answers right now that Phoenix Wera has for these Phoenixes that are harassing him.
Yeah, absolutely not. It looks like Zerg is now just thinking, oh wait, I have roaches, maybe I can put the pressure on. But he's a couple minutes late. Well, he's a little bit late, and I think Protoss is going to have enough units to stop him here.
Couple more gateways being added. And looks like, well, let's see if he can bust through. I'm going to guess that he should have enough to handle this, but let's see. Great play here by the Phoenix to support. Great support here by the Phoenix against Phoenix.
You couldn't defend it much better than that.
Brilliant play here by BabyByeBye. And that is a nice pack of Phoenixes. I think he's got about 9 there that he's attacking with. Lots of Overlords. He wants to keep those near the spores.
Very nice control here. Taking whatever he can get, not overextending himself at all.
Now, if there is one thing that's doing well for Phoenix Wera, he does have 4 bases that haven't really been attacked at all. He's just being harassed in terms of his food supply. He's being forced to waste money on Overlords, but
yeah, absolutely.
Beyond that, his money count is doing okay. He's still up to speed with 4 bases as opposed to just 2 for a Protoss player, BabyByeBye.
Well, he's kind of stuck on supply right now. Has all the wrong units. Nothing to really counter these Phoenix here. And it looks like Protoss is deciding it's time to come apply the pressure. He sees a naked hatchery here. No Hydras. Not really enough Roach Ling. Yeah, he's seeing everything the Zerg is doing, so...
And like those trouble. Phoenixes are definitely going to be a great support for this attack as well.
Yeah, the Hydra count is... Well, I thought he had a few, but... Oh yeah, he's trying to mass them up, but until he has enough, it's not going to be enough. The Phoenix here are going to GB him and throw him up in the air and pop him one by one.
BabyByeBye about 30 ahead in the food count as well, so he is ready to attack, and here he comes. He needs to take out a few of these expansions. Meanwhile, the counterattack is on from Phoenix Wera, thinking this might be his only chance, and Phoenix is picking up these roaches like nothing.
Wisely running away.
And now he's down to 3 bases, and I don't know if he's going to have an answer for this, as BabyByeBye is actually closely approaching 200 food. He's almost maxed out.
Looks like they're deciding it's time to fight, and he's not happy.
No, I think we're going to see GG pretty soon.
Yeah, the Zerg splitting himself on all 3 of his fronts, and Protoss says, I don't care, my units are awesome.
Great strategy here from BabyByeBye. Impressive execution, and this is going to be GG in set number 1 here on Scrap Station. BabyByeBye, he's got sentries with him as well to help out, and there it is, GG! BabyByeBye with the Phoenix attack, going old school on that strategy, if there's such a thing a couple months into a new game. Old school in terms of course, the prequel, and we'll have to see if Phoenix Wera is going to be prepared for a different strategy to deal with in set 2 coming up, but I like this play. It certainly makes a lot of sense for all the right reasons, and it certainly turned out well for BabyByeBye, and also very well executed. Let's give him some credit.
Yeah, absolutely. Zerg did a few mistakes here, of course. Build, not so great, but biggest mistake was scouting, obviously, but BabyByeBye's execution was perfect. I didn't see him lose a unit that he should not have lost. No mistakes.
Yeah, I think the key, once again, I'm really curious about the Nexus. Had he planned to do the Nexus right from the beginning, or was that an adaptation play based on the hatchery not being at the mineral patch? And that, I mean, it's such a small thing to think that, second hatchery, you're kind of off in no man's land, but the fact that it was not at his natural expansion, we'll see if that hurt him in the long run as well. But probably the biggest thing, obviously, not finding those Stargates early enough. Obviously, it turned out to be lethal for him. We'll see if he can do something different. Actually, you know what I'd like to see is I'd like to see if what BabyByeBye is going to do in the next set. Might he try something like that again, which obviously makes sense as well, or maybe he'll come up with a new and improved cool strategy to kind of wow the audience.
I hope so. Make a name for himself and win at the same time.
That is called the double threat. Love it when people do that, and that's how you go from a good player to a legendary player. So the second set is going to be on Shakira's Plateau. Set 1 was on Scrap Station, and if need be, if we go to a third set, it's going to be on Metalopolis, which, by the way, is Phoenix Wera's most confident map. So if he can win set number 2, then perhaps he can look forward to an opportunity for an advantage in set number 3. We'll have to see if that takes place or not. So let's go to set number 2 in the meantime to see what happens in the remainder of this game. Set 2 is between Phoenix Wera and BabyByeBye. It is on Shakira's Plateau.